What would happen if all humans were to disappear one day? How would nature reclaim the space that once was ours? I built a miniature industrial site so together we can follow its story spanning over 100 days. In this realm, the smallest and the mightiest engage in an age-old struggle, a fight for survival. Let's observe the rise of a brand new ecosystem both on land and underwater. The tale begins on a day like any other.
Air is filled with the smell of machine oil and the banter of workers. Trucks come and go, delivering materials and chemicals ready for processing. But like a bad omen, a storm is brewing in the sky. It was never known who or what caused the catastrophe that happened that night. Maybe it was the storm, or maybe it was human failure. Whatever it was, it started a disaster. Almost like a miracle, parts of the industrial complex survived the explosion. A huge crater swallowed any evidence causing that night's calamity. As the smoke and the fog dissipate on day one, the true scale of the devastation becomes apparent. The whole landscape is cleansed of any humans. The only remnants are litter and ruins. The huge crater fills gradually. Unidentifiable chemicals mix with the water. As we will later find out, this will deeply affect the growth of the organisms in the area. Everything will grow to monstrous proportions. The murky water appears devoid of life. Yet, within the sediment we find tiny algae and decomposing organic matter, which is called detritus. These components serve as the foundation of our new food chain. If you still think it looks empty, take a closer look. Closer. Closer. You see now? They are everywhere. But what are those organisms? A couple of days later the water clears up and we get a better picture. We can find sea shrimps, also known as ostracods, tiny crustaceans that help maintain water quality. The ones with the jittery moves are called copepods, small but crucial members of aquatic food webs. Detritus worms perform an eerie dance in order to agitate and mix the water, so they can filter suspended particles and organic matter. One of them quickly retreats as a bloodworm passes by. Bloodworms are the larvae stage of the midgefly and the final member within this group of detrivores. Together they contribute to the breakdown and recycling of organic matter in our little aquatic ecosystem. They play a vital role in nutrient cycling and maintaining water quality. They help to clean the water by removing excess organic material, which can otherwise lead to water pollution and oxygen depletion if left unchecked. There is one more, but it's a predator. It will actively hunt and eat previous mentioned invertebrates, as long as they're small enough. It's called a planarian. It doesn't have lungs and relies on obtaining oxygen through its body's outer layer. Almost hypnotic, it waves in the water, which helps with its gas exchange. All these organisms are the direct result from the downpour flooding the crater. But those heavy rains had an effect on the land too. Humidity is a breeding ground for fungi. To our surprise, it seems like there are a bit more human remains than we initially thought. What looks like a gunk of human flesh is covered in worm-like creatures. No diverse ecosystem can flourish in such a hostile environment. Luckily, we encountered the most useful workers, springtails. Those remarkable creatures feed on fungi and detritus and turn them into valuable nutrients for soil health and plant growth. Within days, they drastically improved the environmental conditions. Finally, the first mosses and plants can grow. Even the first aquatic plants emerge, like this duckweed. We find a new species. Ironically, they are called little sea isopods, but thanks to the chemical cocktail in the water, just like everything else, they don't look small at all. Thankfully, just like the springtails, those monsters are detrivores too. Although fungi isn't on top of their menu, they have an appetite for decaying organic matter as well. Together, the isopods and springtails have improved the soil so much, it's ready for new growth. On day 34 we discover some sort of little rings in the mud, and next to them are holes leading into the earth. Who or what is behind those fresh changes? Something is moving. Uncoiling segment by segment of its hard exoskeleton, we get to meet this majestic creature. It relies on the sense of touch and chemical cues to navigate its environment rather than relying on vision.
It has simple eyes, which are capable of detecting light and darkness, but not detailed images. It is called the yellow-spotted millipede, and our first ever creature feature. These crawlers have 3 incredible defense mechanisms. Their hard exoskeleton provides physical protection from predators. This tough outer covering works like a shield against attacks and reduces the risk of injury. Even more interesting is these animals are masters in chemical warfare. When threatened or disturbed, they can secrete a noxious substance from specialized glands along the side of their bodies. This secretion contains chemicals such as hydrogen cyanide, which gives off a terrible strong smell that is a warning signal to predators. The final defense are the bright yellow spots on dark background. These colors serve as a warning. They signal to potential predators that the millipede is toxic, helping to discourage predation. Now we know they are responsible for those little circular dirt patterns, which are actually their feces. Yellow-spotted millipedes primarily feed on decaying organic matter, such as fallen leaves, rotting wood, and other plant debris found in or on the ground. Therefore, they are detrivores too and pose no danger to smaller animals, and with all their defense mechanisms are not likely to be a food source for others. Better than with any other animal, we can see the direct impact those millipedes have enriching the soil. When feeding, they shred and ingest plant material. The material they cannot absorb ends up excreted. As the fecal matter decomposes, it releases nutrients into the soil: nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, essentials for plant growth. Plant growth equals new habitats, hiding spots and food options for animals. Alongside our detrivores, this makes the area attractive for plant eaters, so-called herbivores, and those eating a mix of both, like garlic snails, which sometimes are used as taxis by springtails. We also find darkling beetles and giant dubia roaches in the shady areas. The range of plants and prey animals both in the water and on land setting a strong environmental base ready for predators. In the next episode we are going to see new protagonists, fights for territory and even death. A couple of months ago I got fired from my job and I wanted to create something new. If you enjoyed your time with me and you would like to watch the next episode, consider subscribe and select all. Otherwise, there's a good chance you will miss it because I don't push out a lot of content. I focus on producing quality videos that take a while to make, but hopefully are enjoyable to watch. If you feel like you want to be part of the journey, consider supporting me on Patreon. I can only create videos and live off my savings for so long before I have to stop this and find a real job.